Well, here in part 2, we go back and have a look at Bob and Simon's shack. Then it's over to G8 OPA, and then followed by a trip over to Nigel, G1BUO in Midfield Way, and back to Chris, G0FDZ, for a rare look at his station. So let's get part 2 underway, and over to Bob. Well, Bob, what have we got here in your shack? Show us around the different rigs that you got here. I see you got some different stuff to what you had last time.
It's a little bit changed. 77 rig, would you believe? It's a TR 9500. Now the antennas are changed and work. I go on 77s to do the 77 Club Championship.
Okay, so that's your 77s. What else have we got here?
77s, and because the 2 metre rig's broken, and because we're closing in on first place in the 2 metre Club Championship, Simon managed to purloin this IC746 from Dave RGS, and he's got it on longish loan, I think, because I'm not sure if Dave's been on holiday and wasn't at the club. So Simon had it for the last meeting, the last club championship, and he's got it for the one that's coming up, and he's giving it back to Dave at the mid-October meeting. So he uses that on he just uses it on 2 meters and on 6. So we've got a 6 meter radio.
So what do you use primarily for HF then?
Well, HF, I bought Simon the MP for his 18th, and we now use that. I used to use a 703,
yeah,
which is still down here, but Simon obviously uses the MP, and I use it as well now, and the difference is quite noticeable in that although the 703 has a processor, the processor on this is far better.
So the FT1000 is the rig that you both share and sort of squabble over when you want to both get on at the same time.
Yeah, we share it. It works out quite well, actually. I normally bow to Simon and let him use it. It is his radio. Yeah. And although recently, now he's at work, of course. I don't think he's been on the radio apart from this contest he's doing now. I don't think he's been on radio all week. So I've used it a little bit more, and worked a few new countries in last week or two. Now we've got the packet. Now we're on broadband and got the packet. Then obviously we keep the packet on, and it does take you to stations. You do find stations a little bit easier, I suppose. Of course, in my listening days, you just listened to everything, tuned the bands for everything, and found them that way. I'm a bit lazy now, I suppose, and although I don't get up here that much, it's just nice to have the packet just to direct you to somewhere. And the difficulty then is, you find everything on the packet saying XYZ, the 3B7C's on 18 megs or something. Yeah, it's fine, but you've got to be lucky and get your 10 watts through to the 3B7 on 18 megs, on 18 megs, which I did manage it. I worked Steve JVG, but some of the stations you've got no chance with. The pilots are just so big.
So Bob, I see that there's some programs running on this PC. Is this what Simon's up to at the moment?
Yeah, Simon's in bed at the moment. He's been up all night doing CQ Worldwide RTTY, and this is all set up for all the RTTY stuff. We've just come up here, and this is just as we found it.
So what's he worked then? Is there any country list, or is there? Do you know how many he's worked?
No, he's worked 208 stations.
208.
208 queues. And the current score is 39,000. There's a list of stations that he'd worked. So you can see he went to bed at 9 o'clock.
That was this morning.
This morning he went to bed at 9 o'clock this morning. And there's just a load of Europeans there on there's one on 40, and the rest are on 20 meters. and this is your RTUI screen. Don't ask me how it works,
right?
Because I don't know.
All a big mystery.
There are loads and loads of letters, and somehow he picks out a call sign.
So is that your internet terminal over there then, Bob? You've gone over to broadband recently, I believe.
Yeah, I've gone over to broadband a few weeks back.
So anyway, you keep this running on the cluster, do you?
Yeah, Simon keeps it running on the cluster, and it's
day in and day out.
Day in and day out. Yeah, at the moment anyway. At the moment.
Anyway, that's fine. Thanks very much for showing us around your shack, and we'll move on.
Yep. Okay.
Right.
Good. Thanks a lot.
Right. We shall leave a very tired contest operator to sleep while we move on to Rutland Avenue in Sidcup, where we'll find Phil. Phil has been a member of Cray Valley for a good number of years. When he was at school, he was actually taught by G2WI, who on one occasion gave him 500 lines to write out.
My name is Phil Barry. Lived in the house for at least 40 years, as you can see, accumulating all this equipment. Took an interest in radio way back when I was doing my national service, saw people playing with radio, and decided that that would be for me. So when I came out in 1955, I ventured up into Lyle Street, which I already knew existed through work, and of course all the shops there full of equipment. You couldn't possibly look at all in one window in an hour. As you well know, there were so many bits and pieces there. Awe-inspiring. What does it all do? Just had to go further with it and finish up purchasing a receiver and becoming a shortwave listener, which was the apprenticeship way of doing things, which I think is a good idea, as it was the way that I came up to it, as it were. So you served your apprenticeship as a listener, and joined the RSGB. BRS 22730 was allocated to me, which I've still got the bulletin somewhere with that in, but wouldn't like to be able to find it at the moment. So I became the BRS number and enjoyed amateur radio.
So let's have a look around the equipment you got here, Phil. Phil, you've certainly got a good selection of equipment here. In a wide selection of ages.
I never like getting rid of anything.
Well, I'm guilty of that, but
a squirrel of the first order, I'm afraid. But usually the price is offered on the second-hand market. I say no, I like it too much, I'll keep it. And in the main, I suppose there might have been one or two pieces in the past that we've moved on, but the main thing is to if I enjoy them, well, they stay here, and that's it.
So always a handy backup, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely, yes. If you've got everything in one basket, as it were, and a simple fault could come about, you might not know that, but it renders it, and your station is completely QRT. So I've always believed in covering myself just in case of that type of thing. So we went from the TS120 there.
Yes, you mentioned about your TS120.
Ancient now.
But do you use that one still, or?
Yes, I've used that on the Christmas morning net, and I've also got somewhere with the little tuner unit for it, the little ATU for it as well. Following on from the 120, I would say with the ICR 70, a general coverage receiver, which at the time was acclaimed as being the state of the art, and I've always found it a very, very good receiver indeed. Without any anything in front of it in the way of tuning units, it performs exceedingly well.